Well, welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. Now, we don't really have any quests at the moment, except for kingdom quests. So, what I would like to do is, first and foremost, actually start this claim, so that we can get Dunswood into the kingdom. It's been a long time since I actually forgot doing something like that, but... Kingdom is getting quite big. Now... let's go to Dunswood. Not sure if there is an actual... Can I get back to the actual... Yes. We have claimed outskirts. We have succeeded at the Winged Menace. The warden set up an ambush. He ordered a trade caravan to take a road that winds along the edge of the forest and hid 2 squads of archers among the trees. The Harpies didn't stand a chance. As soon as they attacked, the archers took them all down. 3 stability. Now, we have several events that we need to deal with. Wish I could... Oh, I can. Middle mouse. Oh, that's so much better. So, Vanhold is there. I think we'll found a settlement there. And this will be... Fort Wally, I believe. Need to build a few things here. Of course, we need a bulletin board and a teleportation circle. Then we need a longhouse. I think we could build that there. This is probably going to expand like this. I don't think I'm going to expand this one. It's a bit far away. Let's build it there. It affects the shop. Although we shouldn't build too much yet. Build a wooden wall. Because we're probably going to get the an artisan for this region as well. Now, to claim the final region over here, the Tours of Lebanese, we need to level up both culture and arcane to level 5. So that's going to take some time. No, I didn't mean to do that. Oh well. Mim Wobblegander comes with a burning amulet. Thank you. At least there were no throne room events here. So we have spider invasion. That can be attended to by those 3. We have the walls have ears. Those 3 are completely different. Eureka, that can be attended by Octavia. Troublemakers. How bad is this? Okay, so let's put Jaethal on this. Unknown troublemakers are spurring the people to rebel against their ruler. Grumblings of popular discontent can be heard in the capital. Advisors should either answer to the rabble-rousers or nip the rebellion in the bud. Go nip the rebellion in the bud. The Ospreys Clause. There is a mysterious... Oh, 29 days. There is a mysterious hero in the area championing the plight of the poor and oppressed. His face remains hidden behind the visor of his helmet. He calls himself Osprey, but nobody knows his real name. The locals are happy to have this new protector, but the rich merchants have accused him of robbing their caravans dressed as a hero. The regent will side with the locals, while the warden will drive the mysterious hero away. I think we need to send Keston on that. guess we also need to put a crisis point in there. Spider invasion. Valerie, no. Christian. The forests are filled with horrible giant spiders. Many woodcutters and hunters have died in their webs. There are rumors that the way things are going, soon it will become impossible to even walk near the edge of the woods. It's time to clear the thicket of these predators. Send Ragongar off on that one. The walls have ears. I think I would like Jubilost to deal with that. Daggermark spies have infiltrated the palace and are trading in its secrets. Fortunately, all information about camps and troop formations has so far been kept safe. However, rumor has it that information about the palace's secret passages and court politics will soon be available to the highest bidder. The whole country will be at risk unless this leaking is stopped. Yeah, I'll send Jubilos to do that. Then we have Eureka. That is an opportunity. I need Octavia. An outstanding local mage made an important magical discovery. He is going to Absalom to present his research to his foreign colleagues. There is no doubt that this will enjoy glory and wealth there, but if he could be persuaded to stay and work for the crown, his research could advance the knowledge of the local magicians. Christian, you can do that. 16th of Arodus. Can I open the journal in here? Yes, I can. The curse is 211 days away. Good. While all these people are off, let's start ranking up. Can we rank up Divine? Actually, let's do the Magister. Octavia, start project. Arcane reached rank 4. Thanks to the Magister and the King, use of magic in the kingdom has reached new heights. Christian was successful. The advisor's servants came to an agreement with the mage. His discovery now belongs to the local mages, and they are studying it with great interest. 3 loyalty and arcane and 2 economy. Jaethal was successful. A few celebrations and a fair, and the happy people soon forget their troubles and instigators' words. 3 culture. The army went into the woods with torches and drawn swords. In half a day, the last of the disgusting creatures had been cut down. 3 military. The advisor's agents set a careful watch around the palace and managed to trace the spy. This was done so cleverly that he never even noticed. He continues to broker information, and neither he nor his customers suspect that it is now entirely fabricated. 3 economy and espionage and 1 relations. Now we have new. The Sea Dragons. I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that, but that requires 20 days. So the Sea Dragons, followers of Abadar who guard ship trade, are planning a raid on the river kingdoms to teach the river pirates a lesson. Will any of the kingdom's advisors be able to use this raid to their advantage? Yes, let's send Ragongar on that. And we need to head to the throne room to see what our advisors have to say. You need to use less starch when you are in your cloak, Octavia. Caledorn, the townsfolk have launched a complaint against the inhabitants of the Mage's Quarter. They speak of dubious characters prowling the streets, while their sleep is disrupted by terrifying noises and flashes of colour. So, no big deal, right? But the people became fed up when a young alchemist's mistake led to a contained explosion. Windows all along the street started shaking, and then some sticky purple substance rained down on the town. Children started playing with it immediately. Well, that was messy. Allegedly, it made the streets smell like a wet goblin's hide for a whole week. Octavia tuts. They're amazingly well-versed, these accusers. They must have plenty of time to go out smelling wet goblins. I understand just how difficult it can be to live alongside mages and alchemists, but if we forbid their experiments, the magical potential of our kingdom will surely dwindle. If we limit their freedom to research, we will clip our mages' wings and they won't be able to help us expand. Therefore, I think we should refuse the citizens' complaints. I tend to agree with her, so the experiments must continue. The townspeople will just have to put up with it. I knew you'd understand. Don't worry, I'll find a way to calm down the neighbors. We'll put on a fireworks show or something. -2 stability and community, and +4 arcane. Yet a new event, arcane protection from compulsions. Your Highness, an ambassador of trade union in Daggermark has arrived at your court. The union is asking for permission to trade in our domain. They are willing to pay a generous fee. It's worth considering who we are dealing with. In Daggermark, your power and privilege depend directly upon the weight of your coin purse. Whereas leaders of other countries often surreptitiously act as profiteers and bandits, it's through profiteering and banditry that rulers in Daggermark rise to power. And to be clear, the city is thriving. I often hear praise of the intelligence and business acumen of Daggermark's citizens, but never any praise of their honesty or ethical perspective. It's up to you to decide who you make deals with, but I don't mind playing this little business game we've been offered. Let them go home. We have no interest in their offer. You must remain sober and never play with someone more skilled in shuffling the deck. You don't want to be taken by a card sharp, right? Guess that should be a card shark, but 2 community and 5 loyalty. Barask has something for us. Eradicator. Just need to pause the recording briefly. There we go. Okay. Not sure if we are going to get more artisans as is, but let's go back here. We can provide arcane protection from compulsion spells while fighting within claimed regions. We don't really need that. We can also level up economy. That would be fulfilling one of our quests. 193 military, that's a lot. Arcane is currently rank 4. I think Jethal is busy. No, she's not. Let's rank up culture then. Culture reached rank 2. Horsebred breeding center. Horses from the Camellands are valued for their strength, speed and sure-footedness. Support its horse breeders and you'll have the finest mounts in the region for yourself and your companions. Plus 20% to overland movement speed within the kingdom. Okay, celebrity visit. Ignore. No, that's 7 days. Hunting season, that's also 7 days, and we're on the 13th. Okay, let's send Tristian on that one. And this is the Royal Elk again, so let's send Harim on that one. Jethal needs to talk to us. You also need to use less starch. Jaethal waves carelessly in the direction of an Aasimar, the petitioner. She insisted on a personal meeting. The Aasimar bows. The young woman is wearing simple clothes, but carries herself with dignity. My greatest respect, my king. My name is Rikri Sharvan, and I am the leader of a small group of enthusiasts who wish to enrich life in the city. I come to you for two reasons: to tell you about our cause and to ask for your support. A while ago, an idea emerged in our ranks. Even though there are many ways to entertain oneself in the capital, there are still not enough cultural events taking place, even as artists are starved for money and audience. Thus, we have decided to form a society for the appreciation of fine arts. Each member pays a modest monthly fee, and in return gets to vote which event the society should fund each month. Just imagine, the community will finally be able to organize exhibitions, performances, philosophical debates, concerts, and do this all on its own. We will inspire our friends and neighbors, but in order to provide an adequate reward for our most distinguished artists, we shall need to attract more members and increase our funds. Rikri folds her hands. All we ask of you is a little support. Any funds you can spare will be most welcome, of course, but we especially need your help in founding and promoting the society and organizing the events. It will require a great effort to make this dream come true. The Aasimar bows. Thank you for your time. Please, if you decide to support us, send us a message through your curator. And whatever your decision, I hope your esteemed advisor will honor us by taking part in the opening ceremony. That's probably going to cost us a fair amount of BP. Yeah, but that's not enough, not at all. Jaethal thinks for a moment. Yes, support them. Give them money. Make them feel they owe you. Moving forward, the resulting mixture of obligation and guilt will allow you to control everything that goes on in this society. +3 culture. Yep, let's pay 75 BP. I wish to support this art society financially. A good step, Caledorn. I will write to the Aasimar in the most refined and sincere terms. That's 3 culture, as I mentioned. I'm going to have a veritable treasure trove of items. Fervent Edge. Okay, let's go back to the Kingdom Affairs table. +1 culture. And we need to continue ranking up culture. 13th, so we're going to end up on the 29th. That is good. And I'm very good at maths today, as you can see. Of course, it would end up on the 27th, not the 29th. Culture reach rank 3. The warden managed to hunt down the mysterious hero and drive him from the kingdom. The merchants are embracing the advisor as a true protector of the law. 1 community, loyalty and stability, and 2 economy. The Sea Dragon Raiders crushed the ranks of the river pirates. Only those who sided with the king in time received their privateer letters and protection from the unforgiving bandit exterminators. 7 military and 4 economy. Wow. Over a glass of wine, the councillor told the bard all about the complicated history of the kingdom and aroused his interest in the history of the region. In the week that's passed, the poet composed a ballad about the stolen lands, and he is performing it in the central square of the capital. 1 community and relations and 6 loyalty. The high priest called upon his flock to hunt down the elk in honor of the gods and the king. However, no matter how long the faithful roamed the forest, the elk remained hidden from them. so we have new events here. Again, we have the Winged Menace, the River Maiden, Mineral Spring, River Gold, and the Walls Have Ears. The Winged Menace. Let's send Octavia on that one. Might actually be worth leveling up Keston, because 10 is just not enough. The River Maiden. 15 is enough for that, so let's send Harim doing that. That's an opportunity, so let's leave that for last. The Walls Have Ears. 75%. Espionage. Let's send Ekon on that one. Mineral Spring. The locals speak of a healing spring whose waters cure diseases and grant new powers. This natural phenomenon should surely be investigated. Christian, you can do that. Some locals found gold while panning along the river's sandy banks. However, this part of the waterway is actively used to transport trade goods. Jubilost, you can deal with that one. Requires 20 days to solve. And I'm sure it's going to be 20 days that I need to pay attention to it. I don't know. Let me save the game. Okay, it isn't. Good. Then he's busy with that. The curator again needs our attention. Now what? The treasurer reports that we have allocated more money than we've actually spent on culture. A considerable sum of money remains. Money must be put to work, so I suggest you invest it in one of 3 projects. The first is a famous local violin player who wishes to tour our neighbours' lands. The second is a book of local legends and traditions assembled by a provincial teacher. But the most promising is a series of etchings depicting your military campaigns. This artist's love of her motherland, it is most impressive. This one gives us 3 relations and 5 culture. This gives community loyalty and culture. And this gives military stability and culture. I think we want this one first. Let our... I want this one, because 3 relations and culture is more useful than military. Let our neighbours learn all about the talented people of our lands. We will help the musician. Yes, well, that's a fine use of our money. He obviously wasn't happy with that. 3 relations and 5 culture. More items. Rigid oak staff. Back to the table. Got 1 culture for that. And then we have... can continue leveling up culture. This episode is very much about the internal politics of the nation rather than action. But this is a very important part of the game as well, so I hope that it is not boring you too much. Culture has reached rank 4. The Magister assembled the strongest arcanists of the region, and under her command they summoned a mighty lightning storm right when the beasts were attacking. Most of the harpies perished, and the survivors fled the kingdom in terror. Priests blessed... that was 3 arcane. Priests blessed with the local fishermen, which emboldened them to stand up for their river. They expelled the mermaid, proving that divine support is a mighty advantage in any endeavour. 1 economy and 4 divine. Finding the location of the healing source, the councillor took care to create a true pilgrim track to the spring, which was declared sacred by the local priest. Its healing waters will be indispensable for fighting the next pestilence. 6 loyalty, 1 military and 1 stability. The treasurer engaged the best engineers in the kingdom in solving the problem, and together they developed an automaton for waterway gold extraction. Oh, didn't know we had frostpunk in here. This has just become an important deposit. We lose 2 loyalty, but we get 3 economy and 2 stability. Econ failed on this one. That's a shame. -2 relations and -5 espionage. And we have... Why are you... Probably because I keep leveling up. Forgotten Knowledge, an ancient hermit's cabin, which used to belong to an old elven mage, has been discovered in the marshes. The dusty library contains fascinating books in an ancient language now forgotten. A competent decryptor, blah blah. We've done that before. Lindsay. What is our stats? No, that's not worth it. Let's send Lindsay on it with 1 crisis point. And again we go to see Jaethal. A passionate young composer arrived at the capital quite recently. He is seeking my audience. I am told he is known in Absalom as a bringer of hope. His first pieces were warmly greeted by the critics, especially the dames. He is said to be quite handsome. His name is Larzio Messus, and he needs your protection. He's been looking for fresh material, and he came across the story of your ascension to the throne. He is so impressed that he's dreaming of composing an opera about it. He is young, inexperienced and naive, which makes him even more useful. We should settle him in the palace and give him patronage. I'll answer to all his questions. It won't be difficult to arrange his thoughts in the right order. His opera will not only preserve your name through the centuries, but also send a message to the peasants of today. They will learn how grateful they must be for your constant efforts, and will have no other thought but to serve their powerful and enlightened ruler. As for me, I won't mind spending time in the young man's company. You know I love to admire all manner of fancy trinkets. Flowers, gems, naive and sublime young men. Sure, I'm fine with your plan, Jaethal. Assist the composer and see how he's progressing. The elf nods with a hint of smile on her face. Wonderful. Yeah, I'm sure you think so. And we get Easy Stride from Tirval. Back to the table. +1 culture. Now let's do the final rank up that we need to do on culture. Culture reached rank 5, so we'd only need 1 more rank in Arcane now. Lindsay failed. The decryptor hired by the advisor turned out to be an incompetent scammer. Looking to impress, he spoiled the books beyond repair with alchemical reagents. Keston's training is complete. Curator, of course, needs to talk to us again. Last Wall's Cavalry, that needs attending. 13 days, 14 days, Poltergeist in the temple again, and 14 days. First and foremost, rank up, no, training. Can we continue to rank up Keston? Apparently not. Improving cultural development. Nah. We have very much build points, but I will stick to the ranking up stuff currently. But first we need to talk to the curator, of course. Another day, another problem. Political newspapers and leaflets are becoming very popular among your subjects. They are nothing more than nasty rumors and criticism of the authorities. The elf is as calm as an iceberg. Your reaction must be swift and severe. As your curator, I advise that you shut down these newspapers, confiscate their printing presses and arrest everyone involved. I don't think we want to do that. We will do this one, actually. We will meet all their accusations by issuing our own newspaper. It's a good thing we already have a printing press. It's not the simplest solution, but it might work. I'll find an editor and start printing our responses. Our circulation will be twice as high as the opposition's. So she doesn't seem altogether that displeased with that decision. 2 community loyalty and stability, but we have to pay 2 build points per week. And more items. Charel brings us integrity. Like how he blushes every time he comes here. Okay, so we have to deal with these. Last Wall's cavalry. A light-fingered administrator in Last Wall is prepared to sell a herd of excellent war horses, but not through official channels. Can the minister make such a deal? I can solve that, please. And we have the poltergeist in the temple, Arim. And we have the Trail of Daring Logic. 40%, 85%, 100%, and the other one is a noble in trouble. Okay, so send Jubilost on this one, Ragongar on this one. The Art of Making Friends, we can send Jaethal on that one. And on projects, we have the Cultural Development rank up, but we don't need that. What we need is Arcane. Octavia. Off we go. Arcane reached rank 5. The minister reported the corrupt administrator to the Lord of Last Wall. His straightforward and sincere letter made a deep impression on the ruler's court. Soon thereafter, several paladins of Last Wall arrived in the stolen lands to swear fealty to the king. 8 military, 3 relations, and 6 espionage. The treasurer managed to strike a deal with the adventurers. He provided them with supplies, and he helped them prepare for the dangerous expedition. 7 economy and 2 arcane. After 2 days labouring in the middle of the river, the noble was ready to give everything she had to be rescued. After receiving his reward, the general sent his soldiers to the river and to release the noble from her predicament. -1 loyalty for some reason, and 8 military. The fight between the High Priest and the Poltergeist drew the attention of the whole area. The great battle ended on the steps of the temple with the victory of the priest, who immediately blessed the building and invited everyone inside for a service. 1 military, 4 divine. The merchants loved the painting picnic organized by the curator. They were particularly impressed by a trendy metropolitan philosopher. The dwarf managed to prove that all the guests were merely figments of his imagination. 8 culture. And we have more events. Justice of the crowd. A crowd of enraged peasants is trying to lynch a young Aasimar girl. The people feel certain that she casts hexes and steals children, though there is no real proof for this. We'll have to send Valerie on that one. Undead Rising. An old priestess of Pharasma has died in the region, and the dead have risen from the graves. The nearby cemeteries grow emptier by the day, and the forest wind is no longer fresh, but carries upon it the smell of wet soil and rot. Yeah, let's just send Regongar on that. 14 days. People from beyond the forest. Hunters have found a small village in the woods. Its denizens have lived in isolation from the rest of the world for dozens of years. They speak a strange language, look like brothers to each other, and have never heard of the Stag Lord or the King. We'll tell them they are not free people occupying no one's land, as they thought only yesterday. Christian can do that. Training. Now we can claim the Taurus of Levenis, which was the purpose of this whole exercise. An amazingly impudent fellow, Caledorn. I have been approached by a wizard from Nex, who has learned to create golems from piles of literal junk. Splinters of wood, rusty nails, broken furniture. He asks your permission to set up shop in the capital and start selling these junk golems. In return, he promises to provide us with a few of his finer creations. Now, you may find this surprising, but I am convinced that we must reject his proposal. Do you know how golems are created? A mage must ensnare a living spirit from one of the elemental planes, most typically an earth elemental, and then bind it to the construct. This means that golems are no better than slaves. After all, elemental spirits are living, sentient beings. The mage even brags that his golems never go out of control, as if total domination of a spirit makes the whole thing any less cruel. We can deal with that. -4 arcane. We shall not employ his services. Perfect. It will be my pleasure to get rid of this crook. 1 community loyalty and economy, but -4 arcane. Bokken comes with Mad Scientist's Glove. He actually gives me something else than the acerbic rings that we got like 5 or 6 of. Mim. Fortunate Fencer. Nazriel. Putrid Blade. Okay, so for our final table action in this episode, let's claim the Taurus of Levenis. There we go. Now we only need Pitax. I'm not sure if we can claim the 1,000 Voices and the region up there. No idea. Let's go back to the map. The councillor managed to convince the villagers that they would be much safer under protection of the king. They have sworn fealty and are ready to begin paying taxes within the month. 2 community, 2 economy, and 3 loyalty. The regent managed to arrest the girl before she could be tried at the stake. The impartial investigation which not only exonerated the witch, but also found those truly responsible. Saboteurs from Pitax. 1 stability, 1 arcane, and 3 community. The general's scouts lured the undead into the open, where they were joined by the main troops and surrounded. The general is being celebrated for a brilliant victory. 3 military. Okay, regions, what is this? Mountain Resort? I guess that's in Tours of Lebanese. Okay, Mystic Circles. Mysterious news. The local citizens are complaining of gigantic multicolored mushrooms again. Paper people. I don't like it when they take 20 days to solve, but at this point, since we're at near the end of the month, I'm not really that concerned with it. Shipwreck. A trade fleet was lost to a sudden nighttime storm. Water washed up a wealth of goods on the riverbank. People gathered in the morning to pick through the ownerless goods. And then we have Praise Cyphus. Several accidental deaths have plagued the region. Wizards say that a mystic system can be traced in these incidents. One not readily apparent at first glance. It is a ritual of followers of Cyphus, the god of accidental death. These fanatics must be stopped. Okay, so let's start all of these. There we go. Now we need to build a settlement in the Tours of Lebanese. I think we'll do that there. The Peak. I like that name. Arakel Peak. To build some things here as well. Need the bulletin board, longhouse, teleportation circle, and wooden wall. Now I think I want to look through the other cities that we have. Should probably visit these places to see if we can get artisans from them. I'm going to pause the recording while I look through the buildings. Okay, so there are several of the smaller buildings that could be useful. The shrine, since we don't have any... Wait. The temple is an upgraded shrine. And the trade shop is an upgraded shop. It should say that we have the basic one. But what I saw was the courthouse, which does +4 bonus to resolving problems with the warden in this region. It is restricted to kingdoms with a lawful alignment. And it does affect the library. If we build a courthouse... How big is the library? Okay. Let's build a courthouse there. And we can build a library. And it says something about a printing house, but I don't think we can build that here. Isn't the Nethys library better? 1 divine, 3 arcane versus... Yes, it is. There we go. Then we have Fort Beta Byte, which is all built up. So, Fort Groundbuster. There's room for a few more buildings here. We haven't built the piers here. That's not good at all. Do we have a longhouse at all? No, we don't. that's unfortunate. We need a longhouse. And let's build a wooden wall as well. Can't build a watchtower up there, but I think we can build a windmill. Not that we need a windmill compared to an orphanage. So there we go, that is Fort Groundbuster built up. Oh, I don't think we... Yes, we have Pepsburg up here. Just 2 more or spots available. Barracks and Smithy. Only the lumberyard matters here. So let's build a lumberyard and an orphanage. Now, down here we have Fort Tunefix. We only have 2 slots left here, but we haven't built the wooden wall. Can build a watchtower in this location. And the watchtower affects walls and barracks. So let's build barracks as well. And an orphanage. So that was Fort Tunefix. Let's just move northwards from here and go to Port Martins. Which is quite large, actually. Can build a watchtower outside of the settlement. Then we have the courthouse again. Can build that together with Nethys Library. And do we have... No, we do not. We can build a shrine as well. I'm not sure exactly what I've done in this settlement, because this makes not much sense, the way that I've built these. Well, we can... Oh, we already have a windmill. We have 2 granaries. We don't need that. Sacred Grove. Why can't I rotate the buildings? No, I can't find any way to rotate it. That is a bit annoying. Would have been fun to build a mansion. Okay. Brewery and a granary out there. I don't think we want to build goblin quarters. But how about a park? No, that's also 2. This is a barracks, and this is Kimiel's shop, so I guess we'll build the longhouse there then. We have 2 slots left. Hospital. Guess cistern. That's a major upgrade for that little town. Up next is Villa do Escal. I don't think we can... Well, we can actually build quite a bit up here. Aviary, that is definitely useful. Okay, so the courthouse. And then the library. When adjacent to a monolith. I can't build any kind of monolith. +1 loyalty when adjacent to a park. Do we have a shrine? We do have a temple though. Wait, does this place have a mage guild? No. No, it does not. Let's build a mansion up there then. Fort. It's not something we need. Okay, so let's just build... Does this affect... No. We'll build a cistern. And a park. This doesn't fit anywhere, so we might as well build a lumber yard. No, that doesn't really do much good here. How about a jail then? No. Granary, do we have that? No. So then we can also build a brewery. And we can build a windmill. No, we cannot. Yes, an orphanage then. We should probably purchase some more of these. So let's purchase 1000 build points. It's not like we lack the money. Now the final settlement to upgrade is Port Kugo. Start out with a longhouse. The longhouse, that's probably a bad location for it actually. Although I'd guess we're not going to get these locations. So longhouse affects the artisan shop and studio and so forth. It also affects the shrines. So let's build a shrine there. The tavern there. The smith there. No, I mean the shop and the smithy there. Then we can build a monument here. Garrison. This upgrades to garrison. The final one, guess, is a school. depends. Could either be a school. No, we don't need that. I'd rather have an orphanage, to be honest. But even better would be a long lumberyard. No, let's build an orphanage. And that means all of our cities have been upgraded, and this is one of the longest episodes that I've made in a long time, I think. Then we just have the capital left. Oh my. Okay. Courthouse. I'm not going to be overly concerned with the adjacency bonuses here. Let's build a courthouse there. Also, it would be useful if that tooltip decreases economy by 1 every 30 days, but provides 25... No, we're not going to build that. Forget about it. A fort could be useful. Do we have a watchtower in this? Did I build Erlene's Magical Rarities shop? Yes, I did. We do have a watchtower. Royal Museum. For each of the storytellers' completed collections. Wow. That is definitely worth it, but it doesn't have... It affects the exotic garden. We don't have any garden as far as I can tell. But I definitely want to build it. Upgrade the garrison. Upgrade the reinforced walls to a dwarven bastion. Making sure that I have upgraded what I can upgrade here. Then we have the park. Use loyalty. And we have the Sacred Grove. We also have a theatre. Any other buildings that provide culture? Yes, we have the school. And the museum. If I build the museum and the theatre out here, noble villa, sounds nice. And then there was one other building that I wanted to build, which was the big fort thing. Barbarian Arena. Oh, that's big. But I don't want to build that anyways. Where was it? Oh, we should have a hospital. There it is, fort. We also have a slot out there. But at this point we have so many buildings here that I don't really see the point in... No, I think we're good. I can buy some more BP, just so we don't run out. So we can buy 501. And I think that's it. Phew, that was a lot of stuff done. So 1 hour. That is a long episode. But thank you all so very much for joining me. And we have to receive some items here. Pauper, thank you. Any more items? No. So again, thank you all so very much for joining me, and I will see you all in the next episode.